What are barcodes? Is this a barcode? Is this a barcode? This one sure is. Barcodes are secret sauce for business efficiency. If you want to know more, stay tuned. Good news, they are all barcodes, and probably this one is the first barcode ever used in retail. They are all just data carriers, a way of transfer some data, same as SD cards or USB flash drives. And barcodes like this are called linear barcodes. There are a whole bunch of different types of barcodes like this that are all linear. And they contain information that is typically written right below the barcode. So the data stored in that barcode is just this, 7, 5, 3, and so on. Those barcodes are called 2D barcodes. And again, there are a whole bunch of different types of 2D barcodes. They contain more information, and typically there's nothing written below because there's too much data inside. People often call them QR codes because QRs are abundant and you can scan them with your phone, but in reality, calling this barcode QR is same as calling all the pickup trucks a Toyota. This is not correct. So there are a whole bunch of different 2D barcodes. Only some of them are QRs like this. When people say barcode, they might mean different things. Sometimes they mean this data carrier, a printed form of information that computers can read. And sometimes they mean some unique ID, like in generate the barcode. So you want to have a unique ID that anyone will understand, and by reading that barcode, they will know what the item is. So in a sense, this ID is like a license plate number. So it is unique, and in terms of generating a barcode, you can think of either issuing a new license plate ID for a new car, or just making a plate with that ID. Two different processes. First one is issuing this unique ID and kind of tying it to the database record. And another process is just printing that barcode. They're both barcode generation. And sometimes by a barcode, people mean only the retail item barcode, and all the other barcodes like on shipping labels or for internal use are not real barcodes, but they all are barcodes. You might notice that big companies use barcodes, and probably for a reason. They gain efficiency this way. If you want to know how they do that, stay tuned. So, if barcode is a data carrier, what data it carries? Most of the times, it's just this ID, and an ID can be unique globally, or it can be just internal ID. Not all IDs has to be globally unique in order to be beneficial for businesses. For instance, ticket numbers can be printed as a barcode. They are not globally unique, but they are unique within the ticketing company operations. Things like bin locations, aisles, boxes, assets, those barcodes are printed from the company records. And if you scan that barcode, it brings the company records. What else a barcode can carry? It can carry lot and batch number, some dates, manufacturing, expiry dates, serial numbers, quantities in a box, box numbers, pallet numbers, order numbers, information that is useful for tracking of a specific box or an item. This is all good, but how barcodes bring efficiency? So, barcodes originate in the computer system, then they print it on a label, the label got sticked on an item, and then scanned by a barcode scanner just in order to feed it back to the computing system. That sounds roundabout. We are going circles here. Why? The key idea here is that the real world doesn't speak bits and bytes. So, in order to pull the real world into the computer, we need to identify the real world items. By printing and sticking barcodes with IDs, we make sure that those real-world items and database records are aligned. They are not mixed up. And later, by scanning that barcode, we instantly bring up those computer records. And there is no mismatch, no mistake, no guessing, because guessing kills efficiency. In a good system, the structure of a barcode hints on what the item is. For instance, a bin location barcodes may have 3 parts and dashes, so you can immediately see that it's different from all the other barcodes in the warehouse. Because if barcodes are mixed up, the system cannot immediately identify the record just by scanning the barcode. The employee have to step in, and that kills efficiency. So probably a prefix or difference in length would be enough for a computer to tell one barcode from another. Okay, perfect. A barcode can identify the item, but you might say, I can see the item. I know what that is. Why do I need a barcode? So here's the problem. Even if 2 bottles look same, it doesn't mean that they have same records in your database. 2 same bottles can be one for retail and another for promotional package. So although they are exactly same, they have different prices and different documents associated with them. So by sticking the right barcode at some stage of this product life cycle, you are making sure that there's no guessing. And here is another piece to the puzzle. It's not just asking people to scan something. It's actually the other way around. This system needs a barcode to be scanned in order to allow for the next step. For instance, you packing an order and you need to have a shipping label. In order to print that shipping label, an employee needs to scan items. Otherwise, system will not allow him. So by scanning items, he gets that shipping label. And in order to ship the product, he has to scan that shipping label. Otherwise, the system will not allow him to fulfill the next step. By doing so, the system enforces the traceability, not just suggesting it. This is what Cleverence does. Cleverence streamlines workflows by enforcing employees to scan barcodes all the way to ensure everything is in the order. For instance, if you are receiving an order, Cleverence first makes sure that this is the right document by scanning the barcode from the supplier. Then it's open up this GRN or LPO on the mobile device and then tells the employer to scan all the items or print stickers if there are no barcodes on these items. And by doing so, the system makes sure that all the item codes are correct, all the quantities are correct, everything is done in the right order. Barcodes that are printed on that step and sticked on the boxes will help in later stages. So by sticking the right barcode at the right stage of the product life cycle, you are making sure you are helping with streamlining the process, eliminating errors, and just making everything smooth and clean. So, barcodes help businesses to bring speed, certainty, and control. First, certainty. You scan a barcode and you immediately know what that is because the system says so. This eliminates human errors, which is a biggest source of loss in inventory, manufacturing, and shipping. Second, speed. Barcodes are blazingly fast. In an instant, you can scan a bunch of barcodes and complete the operation. Compare that to manually writing down item codes, trying to identify something with their bare eyes, matching records. This all takes much more time. Those barcodes are printed at the specific stages where you really know how computer records relate to real-world items. So at all the other stages, you scan the item and the system immediately knows what that thing is. Imagine if in the grocery store there are no barcodes. Then the cashier needs to know what all the items are and somehow remember all the prices, or being able to quickly look it up the price list. Takes a very, very educated cashier. But with the help of the barcodes, anyone can work by the point of sale. Just scan the item, beep, 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 all done. So just the same way, On the manufacturing floor, warehouse, and management facility, just anyone can perform basic operations without being heavily trained on what all the items are. And third, control. Barcodes can help you to track every step, every status change, and keep all the transactions in a database. That helps to unwind the problems and keep everything under control. This kind of visibility turns chaotic operations into predictable workflows. Just scan the barcode, look at the mobile device, it will tell you what the next step is. So once again, system enforces, it demands the barcodes to be scanned. On the manufacturing floor, when one label leads to another one. If you have raw materials on final products, in order to print the label for the final product, the system demands you to scan the labels of the raw materials. So even if you forgot to scan those labels, when you come to labeling the final product, you see the system demands the barcodes, you go back and you scan those labels. And at least at that stage, the system will tell you that they were wrong raw materials, not the right quantity, not the right lead dates or anything. This way, barcodes not only enforces efficiency, but also the quality of the production. So here are the barcodes from the manufacturing to your doorstep. They tell a story that is spread across the computer systems of all the actors. And it's not only the trading items. You do a blood test, the barcodes make sure that your blood test is not mixed up with all the others. Your child is born. The barcodes means that they will not mix up the child. With the barcodes, you just take a mobile device, you go there, you scan the barcodes of items, aisles, and documents, and feed that information immediately back into your ERP system with the help of systems like Cleverence. That means you have slashed in half the amount of work that have to be done in order to perform some business operation and to reflect it in your ERP. So those black stripes, they are probably the biggest invention of all time, saving a ton of money across all the supply chain. Okay, now let's answer some questions from the internet. Why can't I just print whatever I want as a barcode? You can print whatever you want as a barcode. It's just that some barcodes are very strict. They don't allow letters, for instance. And others can contain only globally unique IDs. So you should claim those IDs first before using them. But in a case of a data matrix or QR code, you can put whatever you want in it and scan later. Just make sure that your system can both print and read this barcode. Another question: what are the least expensive barcodes? Okay, so barcodes doesn't cost a thing. What costs money is unique IDs. If you really need a unique ID, like license plate numbers, social security numbers, you go to the institution that issues those IDs and claim them, and later you can use them as a barcode or just print them as a text. It doesn't matter. They're like yours. For all kinds of things that are global. ISBN is for books, for instance, and GS1 is for logistics and retail items. If you want your item to be publicly listed there, you have to claim those database records. And they are in circulation, and there are companies that are selling those slots. So in order for them to keep the registry and to ensure that no one takes your stake on them, they charge money. So that's what that is. But again, if you don't need your barcodes to be globally recognizable, you need them just for internal purposes, maybe your partner companies, maybe some of your customers or suppliers, then just go for item codes and other means of identifying your items, your boxes, like your item codes, part numbers, sales order numbers, delivery notes numbers, whatever makes you happy, you can print it as a barcode. This one is good. How barcode is different from a QR code. Again, there's no difference. QR code is a barcode. And stripes are a barcode and dots are also barcodes. Some 2D barcodes are so specific that smartphone software just don't recognize them because they are meant for, I don't know, manufacturing. So there's no difference. They're all barcodes. QR code is a barcode and UPC code is a barcode. If you want to know more which barcode suits you best, just go Google it. Another good question. I've read the barcode. It's not a unique ID. I can see the data is there, but my ERP cannot grasp it. Okay, so most ERPs don't speak barcode. I mean, they can print IDs, they can read IDs, but if a barcode has a structure like a GS1 with all this information about the manufacturing dates, lot numbers and all, most of the time you need some middleware that will parse the barcode and transfer it to the ERP. Actually, this is where Cleverence steps in. It helps with identifying all the valuable information from the barcodes, repacks it into the format that ERP will understand, and submits it into the ERP. So you have all these back orders and transfer orders aligned with what was going on the floor. And it can work with both the real-time access to the ERP data and offline where ERP is inaccessible, still enabling scanning the barcodes, making sense of them, ensuring all these steps are done, and feeding this information back to the ERP. So most ERPs don't speak barcode. They need you to type in all the codes in endless screens, which just doesn't work on the warehouse or the manufacturing floor. This is why you need some other systems that will help you to streamline the processes and feed it back to the ERP the way it likes it. If a barcode is like a license plate number, how come that two different items can share the same barcode? Okay, first of all, yes, two different items can share same barcode, like a license plate. Two different cars, if they are in different countries, they can have same license plate number. Of course, looking on a license plate itself, you can see there's flag there and other icons, so you can immediately see that those two license plates are not same. But by just the license plate number itself, you cannot tell that it's the same car or not. And if you sell a car, your license plate number goes to another car. So this way, again, two cars may have same ID, just not at the same time. So if you take GS1s, for instance, these retail barcodes, there might well be same barcode on two different items at the same time or at different times. So if you are starting to realize now how valuable barcodes are for the business, you need a good tool to make it happen. This is why we've built TagTonic, a web app that enables you to design and print barcode labels from your data. Whether it's an ERP, Excel, or Forms, you can print from anywhere the way you want it. Just click the link down below and unlock the power of barcodes for your business. So I hope now you see how barcodes are the best thing for business. See you in the next video.